Welcome, race fans, to the high-speed cathedral of horsepower, Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan. This 2-mile D-shaped oval is one of the fastest tracks in all of motorsports, where drivers will rocket into the corners at over 200 miles per hour with barely a lift of the throttle. With its wide racing surface and sweeping high-speed turns, Michigan is all about momentum, precision, and bravery. One small mistake, one moment in dirty air, and you're fighting the car all the way up the track. The draft will play a massive role today. Expect big runs, late moves, and side-by-side battles as drivers search for clean air and maximum speed. It's a place where inches matter, nerves are tested, and races are decided in the blink of an eye. Strap in, because at Michigan, it's full throttle from start to finish. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on behalf of Precision Entertainment. It's Sagar Bakshi and Jacob Quill in the broadcast team. And in the Pit and Paddock Reporter, we have James Newton running up and down the grid right now, giving us a word from the driver. Taking a look at the Precision calendar, we've had the Clash of Daytona and the qualifying, the Duels of Daytona, and after that, it's been Michigan, COTA, Milwaukee, Mexico City, Gateway, Atlanta, Darlington, and then Richmond. It'll be an amazing run in July, and then that's only the first half of the championship.
Here in Michigan, it turns out that the UIS Cup Series has had a lot of fun times here in Michigan. It's always been a track that's looked forward to by many of these drivers, and it's going to be one heck of a show today. So strap in, get ready. We're going to go racing with high speed in Michigan.
Race analysis, race distance is going to be 100 laps. We've got one stage at 25 with 0 fast repairs, meaning 0 mistakes can be made, and unlimited green-white checkers, 5 sets of tires, and of course, we do have iRacing and admins at our disposal. Thank you very much to all the admins hard at work to keep the lights on here. And on the starting lineup, we have Zachary Trevino and Finnegan Myers on that first row. And then on the second, we'll have even better contenders, Joshua Carey and Asher Bunkley right now. And they look primed to charge through the field. Alexander Ortega and Connor Blasco in the third. Nicholas Martinez Jr. and Kendorian Davis are going to line the fourth row. Henry Kauhoff and Trenton Wilkin line the fifth.
Further on back in the 11th spot, we got Tyler Helms making up the 11th spot, and the veteran, former winner at Michigan, Logan Brink in 12th. Riley Maxwell lines up P13 with another precision car, and Max Ford lining up P14. Hector Colazzo, known to be a road course ringer, but has shown some oval success. And Gilbert, longstanding owner, looking to race here today as well. Carmelo Echeverria, he's also a contender usually at this high-speed track. He lines up 17th, winner with Aaron Kovnat in 18th. Axel Smith, last night's winner in the Contender Series, he lines up P19 alongside the 3 of Brady Schreckengast.
In the 21st spot is going to be Damien Cisneros and Kai Collymore in the number 39. Jared Green and Christian Zarte line the next row there, the 12th. Maxwell Futterberg and Aiden Currit in the number 26 spot. James Cesar and it'll be Joseph Enright, the 27 and 28 spots. 29th and 30th for Aiden Koboria and Jacob Bryant.
Further on back from there in 31st, we have Kenny Hilaire. And 32, another previous winner here at Michigan, Brayden Movick, starting from the rear. Wyatt D. Thompson, also another premier contender, always in the Cup Series, lines up 33rd with Travis Prather right alongside him in 34th. Jackson Brown lines up 35th and looks to be the final car in the grid, as I believe Chase George is on race control duty.
Taking a look at the weather, it will only be 71 degrees, but the track is going to be hot, hot, hot. 89 degrees, partly cloudy skies, 4 miles per hour being the crosswind with 51% humidity. Now, how is that going to affect the tires going into this race?
Well, at Michigan, it's a moderately wearing track. It's not necessarily the most punishing one on the circuit, but when you get a hotter track like this, and especially with the increased horsepower under these cars today, we'll definitely see some tire fall off, but expect that draft to be key when guys are saving their tires.
Absolutely, and in a long run like this, to the checkered flag, it's gonna be basically 100 miles of running here, or 200 miles of running, excuse me, as we have the 2-mile D-shaped oval. So it's gonna be a challenge for the drivers to make it to the checkered flag on only a few pit stops, especially without those fast repairs. What does that mean for the drivers like Max Ford right now, who have to contend with, a mistakeless race?
Yeah, you got to be almost perfect here at Michigan. That dirty air, you need so much downforce to get around here. And your race strategy, you're just trying to survive. It's always been a race of attrition at a high-speed track like this. So your game plan is just looking to find all the positions you can get early and kind of hold on for the long run and make sure you did it right.
And hoping they do it right. Well, they'll find out in the long run of things if they got it right or if they got it wrong at the end of the night. But for right now, so far, Trenton Wilkin, hoping that he got it right in the qualifying session, running pretty right now and running a pretty snazzy paint scheme, if I do say so myself. I know I'm new to the UIS field, but a lot of very iconic paint schemes and ones with a lot of character as well.
Yeah, UIS has always been known to have great paint designers, and we're about to get ready to go.
As we get ready to go green, we want to give a big shout out and thanks to all of our sponsors out there. Thank you very much for supporting UIS and Precision Speed Solutions. And we hit the restart zone. It is green, down and towards turn 1. It will be a good leap of faith and a climb for the leaders there side by side as they trust each other, as they get a little squirrely on exit towards turn 2. We're to go 4 abreast further back during the 75 wide foot section back there.
There's still a side-by-side battle for the lead up here, though. Trevino about to make it 3, though, too, by the 79.
Here we go. This is going to be great battle. Trevino, Myers, Bunkley in the battle for the lead. It's definitely not over yet. We've just begun. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Take one down. You've got 98 laps left to go, folks.
The wrecking in the back, midfield, one towards the inside wall, caution will fly. Looks to be Christian Zarate.
That was a early big one now, wasn't it?
Yeah. A little bit uncharacteristic. It's Collazo involved in that one, 2 cars. But, man, I mean, this is what happens here in the UIS. We usually do see these races, at least at Michigan, kind of wreck a little early on, but maybe start to go green toward the finish of the race. So, get to keep our eye on that.
Definitely keeping an eye on some of these drivers early on. Well, we have some drivers that are dealing with, I don't know, these next-gen cars are just different than what we've been used to previously. It's been the biggest technical overhaul in decades with the independent rear suspension, a rear transaxle sequential gearbox, 18-inch single lug wheels, and a full underbody diffuser. You know, it's a spec chassis platform. I mean, we're running fixed setups out here. Does that make a big difference between drivers, you know, that may be accustomed to running open setups as well?
Oh, 1000%. You know, when you come fixed racing, more than likely you're going to be more tightly knitted together. You know, and especially at a track where it's so reliant on draft, you're going to be right with everybody almost the entire way. Even though we only got about 2 laps underway, you still saw how closely compacted every single person was. So yes, these fixed setups absolutely make a massive difference comparative to an open setup race at a big track like this.
Well, as we sit behind the pace car, want to give a big shout out and thanks to our sponsor for tonight, the Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse, because this is the Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse 200. The Universal iRacing Series would not be the same without your support this evening. And now, do we have any big shout outs or thanks you want to give out in the chat? Make sure you get them out there now, and we'll go ahead and read them live. Let us know who you're cheering for. Let us know who you're rooting for and who you want to see climb to the top. And there it is, the Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse 200 for the Universal iRacing Series.
I'd just like to point out that Zachary Trevino took that lead incredibly quick with that outside. I'm wondering if this higher horsepower has meant that that bottom's probably going to be a little less effective, especially with the dirty air. So I'm wondering if you could build bigger runs on the top with the more horsepower.
Well, Finnegan Myers could also be playing the strategy game, not wanting to push their tires so early on in this event, as we take a look at Jared Green right now. And it looks like he's a fan of a certain someone who goes to Chili's upon victory. There's a look at Jared Green right there, who has a very cool setup there. And he's, I think he realized that he's on camera. Say hi, Mom, Jared.
Yeah, it's always so funny. You know, recently at Daytona, we saw Aaron Kovnat was on the live stream here, and he was eating a whole corn on the cob during the driver intros. So, you know, it's cool to know that they feel recognized whenever they get on the live stream.
It adds so much personality and character to see something like this. It's one of my favorite highlights to any broadcast. So thank you very much to the Precision Speed Solutions for bringing this to the drivers. I know they love it as well, as we see Maxwell Glass Company logo plastered on the side. Big shout out and thanks to all the supporters, whether you're here live now or watching in the future, whether you're a sponsor on the door of a car as well, or the driver of any one of these vehicles. This is an amazing lineup of drivers, not what I expected at all. 37 cars taking to Michigan tonight.
Yeah, usually we show out here at towards the start of the season, and you know, the car counts do dwindle a little bit, but Michigan's always been one of the more popular races that people love to show up to, and I can't be more happy that we got a big crowd tonight to see this action go down.
And with heavy hitters such as Trevino and Bunkley ready to take the restart, I'm curious to see who will come out on top. And it's Green. And that is a great start there for Trevino, who caught the field sleeping at the wheel. Side by side further back, that's going to include the 79, the 11, and the 76. It's going to be nose to tail on the high side. A little bit of a peak there. Out to the inside, a late dive from the number 11. And it's a late move, but it's going to stick there. The 00 is going to drift out wide to the 35. Who's going to scrape the concrete barrier, but are going to make it through green and clean.
Holy cow, already racing. It's on early.
Oh, it is absolutely on. These drivers are not holding anything back. I thought I said that earlier on. Scratch that, shake it, remove it, twist it back and reverse it, whatever we got to do. I was wrong. I apologize. The drivers are leaving everything out on the line tonight, and they are going to be relentless with their charges. On the evening, we see 8 positions gained right now for the man we're looking at in the number 11, Max Ford.
Yeah, he's always a hard charger in this series. Max Ford, he may not always qualify the best, but he's one of the better racers in this series, and he usually proves that every single race we do.
More 3-wide action as we get through the width of 73 feet. Going through the banking of turn 1, and there's a big checkup from the 24 into the number 7, and that's going to send him high and wide, and the precision badged car is going to have to slow down dramatically and fall in line behind the 24 Titleist machine.
Yeah, Logan Brink, always another premier competitor in this series, and like I mentioned pre-race, a former winner at this track in this series, and that was done on the first race of the new iRacing revamp with the Arrow. So he's got experience winning in this car specifically with this feel. So it's whether he gets it done today again. We'll find out.
Drivers scattering like cockroaches right now across the tarmac, looking for clean air to try to cool down their vehicles as much as possible. The packs are getting thick, the air is getting thick, the temperatures are rising, and so are the temperatures in the cockpits. I could imagine sitting behind in the wake of dirty air from the car in front. It's got to get frustrating at some point in time, just like the number 9 is frustrating me right now because my Amazon delivery has showed up late today.
Well, I guarantee you that Amazon Prime car is going faster than your delivery here today, man.
Send that number 9 up here to California with my nuts and bolts I need for my aluminum extrusion rig, as we see a little bit of damage there on the front right-hand side now as we ride on board with Axel Smith. Pushing it 200 miles an hour, gets a big block there from that number 9. And I think that was just sight unseen. Didn't know that Axel Smith in the 26 was trying to close down the door. There's a big mistake from up ahead. The 91 FTN machine is going to have a little bit of repairs to do after they clatter with the concrete. Riding on the rear diffuser of Axel now, looking for their back. He's got some company to keep him warm and fuzzy right now, but I think it's a little too hot for comfort. I hope he's hoping for a little bit of comfort space.
Yeah, a little hot's an understatement. They're about sending it in each other's bumpers every single opportunity they get, touring each other up the track into the turns. I mean, this is insane. There's a wreck. Holy cow, inside wall. Who was
Looks
that?
like Blasco
kept it off the wall. Barely. What a save from the 98. Nicked the wall, but got it back going. Holy cow.
Taking a look at the replay now here, Jacob, from that 98. What happened? A little bit of a kiss to the concrete there on entry. But did he jump all on his own, or was he pushed? A little touch there from the 00, I would imagine, sends the target car around. But like you said, keeps it out of the barriers and back onto the tarmac he goes. What a save to keep him up from going a lap down.
Yeah, like you said, it's going to be disappointing when that happens, but you got to remember, stage break, lap 25, so there's always time to make up for mistakes early like that.
Absolutely. And this is a very, very long race with basically, my math is mathing me 160 miles of racing left to go at the very least, because there's a lot you can do in 160 miles in the United States.
Yes.
Here comes the number 7 and the charge, looking ahead on the 71 of Cisneros. But Cisneros not doing very well themselves, is compromised. Their run and goes for a big block there. And that'll be a checkup from the entire field further back, as that even caught me by surprise.
Yeah, well, like I said, these UIS guys are a rowdy bunch. You know, well, see, look at that in front. Gilbert Doran, Carmelo Echeverria up the track there. Yeah, a bunch of rowdy folks here in the UIS. They're rowdy early, I'll say that much.
You did warn me about their activity levels early on. I just didn't know what to expect, I guess. But the boys out here sure are dressed to impress, because they're doing so at 200 plus miles per hour. It's not something that you typically see even road racers be able to do at such high rates of speed. So I guess I'll shove that into my pipe and smoke it now, won't I? As a road racer.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll say it kind of does half transfer. The racecraft, honestly, it's different, very different. Obviously, you're just turning left here. But when you're turning right and having to go left side by side all the time, it can be a handful too, just like these guys. But the speed is the main difference in that equation.
But then you talk about these same vehicles going to tracks like Sonoma. We're talking about going to the Charlotte Roval as well. I mean, these vehicles also perform very well on road tracks. And here comes a charge from Max Ford on the number 35, but a big check up there from the number 4, looking for an opportune line, I would imagine, as Ortega and Trevino pull out nearly a 2-second gap on the rest of the field behind. Kerry and Ford having to duke it out there. But as I was saying, these same cars, they perform on street tracks. So my kudos and my hats off to anybody that's willing to put up with the task of taking these next-gen cars across any piece of tarmac.
Well, I feel like that was part of the goal with the creation of this generation of car, is that rear diffuser kind of makes it more like a GT3 in a way. It kind of adds a little bit more duality to the car in terms of how it can run. And they're still trying to look 3 wide a little further back, but Kalhoff and Finnegan-Myers.
Oh, door to door. That was as close could get. The 97 of Thunderberg and the 90 of Nicholas Road exchanged a little bit of paint there on the entrance to turn 1 and 2. But you mentioned the speed of GT3s, but then again, we look at the road to Le Mans, right? And the next gen car performing at Le Mans. And it had to be restricted because of how fast it was.
Oh my
Speaking
goodness.
of how fast these cars are, look at how fast these guys are as we go 3 wide in the backfield, making it tight with a little bit of leaning going on, but making it through unscathed.
Yeah, I don't know how they're unscathed. I mean, it should have been wrecked at least 3 times by now.
Absolutely. If it was me on the circuit, garage, 2 fast repairs already, but these drivers are well equipped to handle the task at hand right now. And that's not just tooting any horns. I mean, look at the way that we've stayed green and clean after that first incident where drivers were maybe caught off a little off guard on the opening stages and getting aggressive early on. But now that we've gotten into a groove and the heat has definitely been generated, we see calmer, cooler heads prevailing. Here's a look at Jared Green again. And I was wondering what that was in front of his face. I believe that would be a microphone. What do you think there?
I think that's his microphone. We see a lot of guys. Yeah, a lot of these guys, they have things that they just stick right in front of their faces, speak into it. Yeah, he just put his thumbs up on it.
Okay. Awesome to see. That is a cool looking microphone. We'll have to talk to Jared Green after this. Hopefully he gets his way to the podium and we can talk to him and find out what mic that is, because that's a good looking one. But right now, here and now, Jared Green is going to duke it out with a couple of fellow drivers on the racetrack. So we'll let him have his concentration. The number 1 falling victim to the attack of the Chile number 77. And that'll be a good run there coming out of 1 and 2. And now he should be able to slot in out of 3 and 4. Looking further ahead, the 88 caught a bit of a pickle now between the 17 and the green machine further back, but it's too late as the slot in behind. I thought there was an overlap there as the green machine further back checks out doors with the car there adjacent with the number 2.
Axel's got some experience tonight, or I should not say tonight. Last night he won the Contender Series race, as I mentioned previously. So Axel Smith being a winner here last night, albeit in the O'Reilly Series car, or here the 40X Lite Contender Series. He's still got experience at this track, and it looks like he's putting it to use. He started further on back, and he has started to work his way forward.
Speaking of working their way forward, Wyatt D. Thompson right now up 22 positions. Yes, you heard that right. 22 positions as he chops his way up through the grid right now. Make that 23 as he gets one more. It is absolutely phenomenal. The drivers are shaking and baking and really optimizing their late stage runs. I know we got basically 2 to go until the stage break, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Jacob?
Yep, we're coming to the white flag for the first stage and only stage.
Here we go. Ortega leads by 9/10 of a second. It's ahead of Trevino. Kerry in third, Ford in fourth. It's a little too far back for anybody to do anything. Ortega might just take this one. Clear-cut winner as we go into the stage break.
Doesn't shock me. Ortega's, once again, a premier contender in this series. Every time you come to a track, doesn't matter what it is, even if it's a road course, you kind of look out for this guy. You know, you always have him on your radar because when he puts in the performance, he takes you to town.
And he doesn't need to tell us how good he is. He's showed us how good he is throughout this race so far. He's gained 4 positions on the good of things. He's put in good lap after good lap. He had to contend with Trevino, Carey, Ford, Myers, and many more further back. But now it will be the stage break going to Alexander Ortega, the number 32. Advanced Auto Parts machine is gonna take a nice swig of champagne after this, and a good haul of points to be enjoyed as well.
Yeah, speaking of points, in this series, we switched towards the chase format this season. So with NASCAR going to it in real life, now on the service, the UIS adapted to that as well and put in the chase format. So those stage points, they go a very long way to try and secure yourself that #1 spot in the chase.
Absolutely. Here are the race results. After 25, it was Ortega, Trevino, Carey, the 1, 2, 3. Then Max Ford in 4th, Finnegan Myers in 5th, Braden Movic in 6th, Henry Kauhoff in 7th, Trenton Wilkin in 8th, Tyler Helms in 9th, and Wyatt D. Thompson, that hard charger, in 10th. And we do have James Newton, our pit and paddock reporter, coming into the booth with us to give us a little bit of word and insight from what the drivers are feeling and contending with this evening.
Great to be here, gentlemen, and very excited for this one. I was in the 23XI racing team chat there, and I was hearing them work together. Ford and Echevarria were preparing each other for a bunch of shoves that they were using, and Banta also complaining that the car is too tight. They were saying that potentially it's the extra horsepower that they may not be used to as all the cars pile into pit lane here. It looks like every single car bar 2 have come in. We've got 3 now, and they all make it through the fast lane. They'll get picked up. The tire strategy also has just been grip it and rip it. Just use those tires up, get through the stage, come in afterward, and see how it goes.
They potentially talk about beyond the stage, you know, because the fuel runs are going to be much longer than 25 laps. So it becomes less of grip and rip, right?
Oh, definitely, for sure. It's going to be a overlapping race as well, as we see, again, some takers, or apologies, some non-takers to the pit lane as we see the race off pit lane. And it looks like there was not too much involved there. And again, we have 3 staying out. The $3 machine there of Cody Bonta, who again was complaining about the car being tight, potentially a little bit loose. I think he was also taking the outer line, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit earlier on in the race, then adopted that kind of midline a little later on, trying to get comfortable in that 45.
So Banta, actually, he went down pit road, but he didn't pit. So I don't know what kind of strategy they have in the 45 this week. Because for Daytona, we had the 45 out there. Well, we actually didn't have the 45 out there. They got a new driver, and Cody Banta's in it this week again. So yeah, now he's coming back down again. He must have missed his pit stall.
Wow, what a turn of events there for drivers that unfortunately may have not practiced their pit stop. I know my good friend Mike Noss of the channel would always say, practice, practice, practice those pit stops, and it pays dividends for some, and it obviously is a bane of existence for others.
Yeah, you absolutely need to know how to pit, especially we're going to probably get some green flag pit stops here. I would not doubt it. I wouldn't hold it. I wouldn't hold that lightly. We're likely going to, just seeing they're racing really hard, yes, But what that does is it wears out your tires quicker. It's going to make guys want to come to pit road more. So we're going to see some sort of green flag pit stops at some point in this race. We have to.
We sure are probably going to see some green flag pit stops as well, but we wonder where the drivers will decide to take those pit stops and how that'll really affect them in the long run. You know, because we have 72 laps left to go, we're not expected to have another, caution come out for free unless there is a big accident. As I was just getting word in my ear from James Newton, he's got more words about what happened to Cody Banta.
Yeah, I just had a talk with Cody there, and Banta said that he had a spotter issue, which caused him to miss his pit box. Obviously, an enormous amount of pit boxes for the enormous amount of cars that are going to get going here very shortly.
Back underway in this one, and it's Ortega getting the launch off the jump with Helms following right behind him. Couple cars already looking to get single filed out towards the front, but towards the mid-pack, looks like a hornet's nest.
And it's getting elbows out further in the field as the drivers continue to get dicey, and they're going to get 5 wide further back, and that's going to be the causation of a caution, and another big one is going to be afoot now.
Banta involved in that one. Green, 2 destroyed cars. Unbelievable.
Man, oh man, that was definitely not what you want to see here. One of the fastest tracks on the calendar. Let's get a replay of what happened. Talk us through it.
Yeah, just looks like it's classical restarts at Michigan. You're so neatly tight together. It's just, you come off the corner, get in the wall. Someone does that. Oh, it just looks like Green tried to come down the track and, hard hit in the outside wall. Gosh. And that's what destroyed Banta's day right there. I think he's done for the race. It's off the wall.
Got it.
Yeah, tried to come down. Yeah. Tried to take evasive action on the 58 and just went a little too much.
Just absolutely gutting for drivers. For their days to end like this, it's never what you want to see. Unfortunate incidences. Oh, man. Just for a loss of words, unfortunately.
Banta lost it on his own, trying to come back up the track. Well, that 45 car has to come to pit road. That's destroyed. I don't believe it's fixable. I believe his day is done. It looks completely, the tire looks just completely off the suspension. It's destroyed. And if they do fix it, it's going to be a very long wait. So his day is, at least for the victory, and in total, just could be done.
It's definitely not looking good, and it's going to be a challenge for that 45 to get back into the lick of things, especially with no fast repairs, and especially with a missed pit box as well. That will be a major time loss for the number 45. But swiftly moving on from that, it will be, and I'm getting word from the pit and paddock reporter, stand by. And we'll have Jacob go ahead and grab someone to go ahead and talk to here as we have 69 left to go on the flag.
I'm searching here at the moment. I'd like to bring up Ortega optimally, mainly because he's a leader, but he's also always been really good at this track. Where is Martinez at? Is Martinez available? Because Martinez is also very good at this track, and he would love for me to interview him. Oh, where is everybody? Man, nobody's available. Okay. Let's actually talk to former winner here, Logan Brink. Let's bring him up here. Oh. Logan Brink, boys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hello, you've been doing pretty good today so far on this race. You made up 3 spots from the jump, but what's it going to take to get back in victory lane once again here in the UIS?
Oh, man, it's been a while, so it's going to be really difficult, but, I mean, it's tough out here right now. The top lane is pretty dominant, especially on the straightaways, and then you got to stay up there, stay in the draft. I just need a green flag run or two to kind of, you know, figure myself out a little bit, but as of right now, I'm a little bit lost. I'm just going to race, see what happens.
Yeah, you've always figured it out. You know, obviously you won the first race here at Michigan with the new aero package in this car. You know, what exactly as a driver are you trying to do to make sure you keep the tires on your car, but also make sure you keep pace as well?
Yeah, it's kind of just find the clean air at all times, you know, and whether it's the top lane or the bottom lane, that's kind of my goal, is just stay in the clean air as much as I can. That way I don't have to turn the wheels much and just keep the momentum, you know, so.
We're going to let you go here, Logan Brink. I appreciate you joining us up here in the booth for a moment. Got to get you back to your team channel, and good luck for the rest of this race.
Thanks.
Now, as we look to get restarted here, the 32 and the 7 line, that first row, then we're going to have Joshua Carey and Wyatt D. Thompson. It's going to be green, green, green here for Precision Studios. Ortega and Helms are going to lead us through the charge, but it'll be the 35 who gives the big push down to the low side. It's going to be the 35 Moser Racing Machine who's going to get advantage of Ortega, who leaves the door just ajar. And we all know what happens when you leave the door ajar. Well, everybody starts coming in, helping themselves to some apple pie, the fridge, the milk. It's whatever they can get their hands on. As here's the charge and the change for the lead. It's afoot right now.
They're leaning on each other door to door consistently. Ortega now slides in front of the bumper of Helms. They single file out for the first 4 positions, and it's still racing on into turn 1. They haven't given up quite yet.
It's not over just yet. Late towards turn 1 goes Ortega, and a deep braking zone for him as he carries the speed, now shakes it off the draft that he is giving to Helms as quickly as possible, and it looks like another yellow is going to come out now.
It's who we just spoke to, Logan Brink. Oh, piled in.
Looks like it's not tracking properly at all.
No. Got to get the replay up here. See Logan already in a slide. It's contact down the straightaway, and the 25 piles in. Oh, just a hard hit.
And just hard racing as well, as the 25 just unfortunately had nowhere to go as we ride on board, and this is going to be a difficult sight for some. The 25 also gets loose there, and truly had nowhere to go, as there must have just been a huge pocket of dirty air from the cars in front, as you can see a couple of cars ahead getting caught in that wake.
Oh, we're getting a replay here. Just look, going into the corner, just came down, got nudged barely. Yeah, just nowhere to go for these two. Wow, that was crazy. That could have been much worse. But 2 premier contenders, they're destroyed right now at this moment. They're going to come down pit road, get some repairs. Braden Movick, a winner here, and Logan Brink, a winner here too.
Taking a look at the entire pack come through the field now. This is a great shot of everybody coming through, but we're going to catch in the top right-hand corner of your screen the accident there, and there's the Titleist machine. There's the drift of the 25, and boy, if that 24 wasn't there, that would have been an amazing catch.
Yeah, but unfortunately so. It's Brink and Movick. They have to collide together and just add further calamity to their days, and it's still early, but I think Movick got the worst out of that one.
And we're going to take a quick commercial break. Do not go anywhere, folks. The action will resume in just a few moments. And welcome back, folks, to more racing action. In case you missed it, it was Ortega who took the stage win at the 25 lap mark. But here and now, we're ready to restart this rumble with 63 laps left to go. We're still hesitant to find out who's going to come out on top. As we noted, a lot of points on the line as they were still early on in this championship bout. Drivers are trying to get their early haul of points done as quickly as possible to solidify their spot in the playoff runs now, aren't they?
Oh, 1000%. I mean, we're only on race 2 here, but every point you can get, especially in this chase format, absolutely matters. You need to nail every race as well as you can, and you got to be efficient while doing it too.
As we get ready to take the restart, we're going to take a look at Max Ford, who looks well equipped to take it on right now as he leaves a healthy gap to the cars in front and is ready to rumble. Side by side, the pack stays tight. Green, green, green is the flag color, but the Maxwell car looks for an open gap and finds it there, easily presents himself, and that'll be a good 3 wide coming down the front stretch. It's going to be Ortega, Thompson, and Helms who gets a black flag penalty, and that's going to send the number 7 to the back of the pack now.
Yeah, he's going to have to come down pit road now to serve this one. Jump the restart. If you caught it, he got on the throttle way before Ortega. The control car went, so now he's going to have to come down pit road and serve a black flag.
Coming down pit road now to serve that immediately, James Newton with a report for us from the pit lane.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Connor Blasco with an issue there, 5th to 30th earlier on. We had a 5 wide incident between Blasco and Finnegan as well. We also have, again, the dead man. Oh, we also have a sideways car.
Big one. That's a big one. You saw that one brewing from a mile back. The 97 getting clipped on that one. James, I have a feeling like you're about to be a very busy bird, so we'll let you get back to it. Thank you very much for the update there, and we'll let him have his word with the drivers. Let's get a replay of what happened. We pretty much had the best shot in the house of that right on board, that rear diffuser looking back, but here's the wake of it right now. 2, 3 abreast right now, coming through across the stripe in just a few moments time, or do we even get there now? It'll be the 97 coming down on the 88, just a hair at the end of the day, and that was enough to send him around. He sends the 26 round, and then nobody else has any room left to go because 3 cars turn into a roadblock very, very fast.
Yeah, once again, I want to mention Axel Smith, last night's winner, involved in that one, got turned off the front bumper, but the biggest damage out of this one on your screen right now, pow, into the inside wall. 97, hard hit to the inside wall. But Axel Smith, I think he got mostly unscathed from that one. Gonna have some damage, but I don't think it's gonna be too terrible.
You're absolutely right. That 26 might have gotten the best lick of that at the end of the day. All things considered, not too much damage after all the spins that happens. Goes to show you how much those safety diffusers really go to help the cars from getting airborne these days.
Still got some rear damage, but yeah, a lot of cars involved in that one. Have to wait for James to formulate a report for us here on what exactly is going to happen. Oh my goodness! Oh, that was a near miss. Smoke covered up Axel Smith, and evasive action by Jackson Brown, or I think that's Road actually, or is that Brown? I believe it's one of them.
96 of Brown.
Yes.
What a dodge! That might be the save of the day. Even if he came to a screeching halt afterwards, that is a close call. And most likely for the 96 of Jackson Brown, he'll come to pits, get a change of tires after that, and a change of trousers and a new fire suit as well.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of an understatement on the trousers. I think there's a hole through him from that one. the magnitude of the force that came out from that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's one heck of an avoidance right there. Your day would either be done, or you could just take the spin, and they took the spin.
One of the best shots we've seen all night long of that coming, and it just goes to show you how great our producer is. Thank you so much to all the admins behind the scene and all the hard work that goes into stewarding these events. 59 to go as we look at Finnegan Myers, who now inherits the lead of the race of the doubles. Darrow was back into the position that they started this race in, as Joseph Enright behind to contend with, who's hard charged through the field, 26 positions, no slouch of his own right.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, you can see a lot of field flips, you know, in terms of positions made up, positions lost. There's a lot of flipping going around in this field as it's all scattered all over the leaderboard.
And here's a look at Maxwell Funderburk coming out of the pits right now. This will be 33rd position for the number 97, involved earlier on in that big incident, but able to recover. And I must say, Maxwell Funderburk, that is a perfect looking t-shirt. I am a big fan of the Hawaiian tees, my friend.
I don't even know what that is, but oh, the Hawaiian t. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, that makes a lot
Hawaiian
of sense.
t-shirts.
Yeah, okay. I kind of didn't misinterpret that one immediately. Yeah, I love Hawaiian t-shirts.
I'll take the marbles out of my mouth. I apologize, folks. As we get ready to rumble yet again, we have a couple of cars catching up to the back of the pack. What does that mean for the cars that are flying around the racetrack with potentially, you know, hotter tires than those that have been cooling down for the past couple laps? Will they be able to charge through the field? Will they have to express a little bit of patience as part of their valor tonight? What's the story there?
Well, with the heat, probably going to have a little bit more wear on their tires, I would assume, just because it's been hotter for a longer period of time. And with these cold tires, they should be able to fly around pretty quick here on this restart. We'll see it.
As we get ready to go, the Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse 200 kicks off, and green is the flag color again, and the 00 pulls out an amazing leapfrog start, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, and gaining right now through 1 and 2. It'll be a hard charge for the rest of the field to try to contend with the run of Finnegan Myers. Hector Colazo is going to be charging through the field, trying to get help from Enright as well. And Max Ford further back, we have an incident. Whom is that? Joshua Gilbert, the number 9 in 34th position. That's the prime machine that has my nuts and bolts in it, Jacob.
No, we can't have that. Unbelievable. That thing is
for the number 9.
That thing is destroyed. That thing is done for the day.
No wonder my delivery hasn't come yet.
Oh,
Okay,
replay.
let's see what happened to my nuts and bolts for the number 9.
Oh, came together on the top. Oh, right in the opening.
That was a big one, and that will definitely be taking Joshua Gilbert out of this race, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, indeed. Understatement of the year, I think.
Oh my goodness, the speed. About shot him up into the track.
Oh no, not the onboard cam.
Yeah, we got to see this one. This one's a hard lick. It's about to become restricted footage like Elliott Sadler.
Oh, here we go. And he's going to spin like a Beyblade in 3, 2, 1.
Oh. That's a hard hit.
And you, Amazon said next day delivery, but didn't they think about safety, Jacob? You know, some sort of safety precaution in there. You know, this guy's been going around for basically 200 miles an hour for the past 50 or so laps. And just to get taken out like that is definitely not the way you want to see an instant result. But hopefully we'll see the driver come back of Joshua Gilbert to contend yet again. It is early on in the season. The championship points will definitely come and go.
Yeah, like you said, points come and go, and you got to be the most consistent in this format. When last season, if you won a race, I believe you were in the playoffs, and if you won in the playoffs, you advance to the next round. We don't do those rounds anymore. It's just one standard round. It's decided by how much points you get in the regular season. So, though that gridding order, you need to be the most consistent, and days like this certainly don't help. But once again, it's only race 2 of about a 26 race schedule. But I think the regular season is about 16, if I'm not wrong. Maybe a little bit more than that. About 20.
And we have James Newton, our pit and paddock reporter, our personal Shay Adams, with another report. Thank you very much, Shay. To you.
Thank you so much, Sagar. And I have confirmation your package has left the facility, so it should be there shortly. We've got Zach Trevino with some right front issues there, a ton of optional repairs. Maxwell Funderburg is not having a happy time at all. About 10 minutes of optional repairs for them, and they are unhappy, mostly because it was going so well for them. They're running so high up, and now for it to be taken away, really not looking good. Things are looking fantastic in terms of the chipperness for Ahoy Racing, so both of those guys looking quite good at the moment. Kai Collymore is back on the lead lap, and he's been climbing what he called Everest without climbing gear. So Kai is doing their very best. Aiden Curate has a broken left front, and Max Ford has tons of confidence. Ford really is looking dangerous, especially at this stage of the race.
Thank you very much, James. Really appreciate that extra word from the pit lane and from the drivers. Keep us informed of any new comings and any goings through the pit lane.
Thank you, guys.
Ford's always been one of those guys in this series that, once again, he's been really well respected in this series. Is once again always been good at these kind of tracks, specifically is on these ovals. It's pretty hard to play the dirty air game and also find pace at a bigger track like this, and Ford does it really well.
He sure does. Yeah, he's been contending like a heavy hitter all night long, that's for sure. And he's going to continue to charge through the field now. It'll be a sight to see here as we're ready to go green. Jacob, take it away.
Finnegan Myers on the front row wants to get a good restart here over Hector Colazzo. The road course ringer in the Red Bull machine fires off with Finnegan Myers, and there's already a move below on the apron. It's Joshua Carey for 23XI trying to make a move on the bottom.
Making a steep look there is the number 35, and he's carrying a ton of momentum. Around goes the number 11 with a slight touch, and that'll send him round. And Jacob, what did you see there?
Max Ford simply got wrecked. That was a hard impact. Ford's day is done. Talk about commentator's curse. We had Logan Brink when we just spoke to him. He wrecks the next lap. We just start speaking about Max Ford. He wrecks on that restart. What is this?
Definitely not what we wanted to see tonight, especially from the commentator's perspective. We don't want to be the result of any of these accidents here tonight, but unfortunately some of them are just unavoidable. Let's get a replay of what happened here. Jacob, walk us through it.
Yeah, so they get into the corner, they're racing hard, really tight, and just a little nudge or a little bit of the arrow from the 07 just gets them a little bit tight. The Ford's also coming down a little bit, and they just connect in the center, and that's going to happen here on the restarts when you're trying to side draft, fight side by side the entire time, and that's the result.
It is, unfortunately, the result at the end of the day, but man. Who else is connected in this? The dancing queen, potentially, of Joseph Enright?
I just want to say that Damian Cisneros, after the 11 got put into that one, kind of reminds me of Ryan Preece and Kyle Larson at Talladega. in a way. Just nowhere to go for Cisneros, and hard hits the outside wall with him as well.
Taking a look now at the big one there, the 07, potentially getting out of it, but back over to the live screens now. Jacob, I invite you to go ahead and take a look at the drivers and pick out who you think you would be appropriate to talk to. I don't want to pick out anybody. I'll let you, since you know the drivers best, while I distract people with some Brooklyn, Michigan facts. A track that is of 2.0 miles or 3.634 kilometers. I still don't know what a kilometer is, folks. It was founded in 1968. We are located in Brooklyn, not New York. We're in Michigan, with a width of 73 feet coming through at the widest parts of the track, 18 degrees of banking, and believe it or not, we do have 30 feet of elevation change here. Most of that happening throughout the banking, folks. So a little bit about the track breakdown. We have a long and slightly banked straightaway down the front straight of 12 degrees banking. It's prime for drafting and slingshot moves. Turn one, you have this wide entry, and it's deceptively fast. Drivers will often enter nearly flat out in clean air, but make that mistake not are these crude drivers here. They're finding it perfectly to get off the throttle and get onto the brakes for just a little bit of momentum. On turn two, exit is critical onto the back stretch, and cars are going to get loose here due to throttle application, and dirty air can push you up and around the track.
All right, so if we're going over to an interview now, I'd like to bring up Hector Collazo, which always been a great guy for racing. Let's bring him up in here. Hector Collazo, welcome to the UIS booth, or I should say Precision Entertainment booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
All right, well, normally you're a road course ringer around these parts, and recently, I will say you've gotten a lot better at the ovals, and you're really starting to show it to them. What's been your key to success here today at Michigan?
Not get wrecked. These guys are kind of struggling off of turn two, so all I got to do is just hit the brakes unlike half the other people, and yeah, I just somehow siphoned up the P2, so I'll take that.
So, Hector, you know, obviously you're not turning right here today, but, you know, how have you been able to stick with a lot of these guys besides the wrecking? It's got to be something.
It's kind of like I kind of got to brake a little bit, so when I got a brake, I actually can drive better. So, you know, it's kind of helping me out a little bit being able to brake at this track.
Awesome. Well, Hector, thank you for your words here in the booth. we'll let you go back to your Dead Man Walking Racing booth, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, thanks.
About to get back going for the restart here.
As we get into the restart, it'll be Finnegan Myers and Hector Collazo yet again on this restart. It's green, and we're going to go 4 abreast further back. And I think that'll be Nicholas Rode, Braden Muhick, and Clordian Davis, Carmelo, get involved in that mix as well. That number 23 in 9th place, getting his elbows out further back down the order, but the fast lap of the race still holds on to Ortega.
Still 3 wide, about in the mid-pack. You can see for about the first 8 to 9 cars, they've started to single file out, weaving down the straightaway albeit, but still not able to figure it out towards the mid-pack.
Still jostling for position, and 48 laps left to go. It's still up for grabs here. And
one around in the back. Bunkley with a save, does a 360 and keeps it straight. Sorry to cut you off for that one, but that one could have been big for Bunkley. But man, off the bumper of the person behind him. Got to look at the replay here. 360. Kind of reminded me of Max Verstappen at Miami. Dirty air washed up the track. Burt Rubber Racing warehouse car of Martinez right behind him. Just nowhere to go, got loose, and nobody hits him. 360s it.
Wow.
It keeps it going. Unbelievable.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff from the number 79 to keep it clean there, able to keep it out of the wall just barely. Like you said, that's very Max Verstappen-esque. Using a car to keep it out of the wall, we'll still count that as clean.
Oh man, just look at that onboard. That's incredible. That onboard was incredible. We saw back replay, you just see the aero loose. That's another talking point here. I want to make a point here that this car, especially on iRacing, is sensitive to when you pack aero on the rear. So not only are you getting affected in front of you, you're also getting affected in the rear. So what I'm saying is that Bunkley got affected in the front. It got tight, but once he swiped the front end of Martinez in the rear, it actually knocked him loose. That's just how technical this car is in terms of the aero here on iRacing. It's incredible.
Truly is an incredible simulator how much depth we go into for a game, you know, that we love and enjoy. It's just a hobby for some, but it's so much more to others, including ourselves here in the broadcast booth, the admin team, even the drivers here, part of this league. It's a community, it's a friendship, it's a place that you want to go and hang out with. And I was a military man for a long time, and when I got out of it, I spent a long time missing something, and I could never put my finger on it until I met a couple of organizations that let me know what I was missing. It was a community, a sense of belonging, and a sense of purpose. And sometimes in sim racing communities, you find that magic trio.
Wow, welcome to the UIS. A lot of friend groups here, a lot of friendships made. So it's quite the community here.
Now, Jacob, what's your analysis of the race distance so far and the race distance that we have left? You know, we started off pretty aggressively and the cautions have staved off to just about the, let's call them incidental mistakes here or there at this point in time. We haven't really seen too many aggressive runs, even on these restarts where we've had tight pack battles.
Yeah, well, I mean, Michigan is one of those races here in the UIS specifically where we will see a lot of aggressiveness, no matter the time in the race, honestly. But so far, it has been, honestly, a more cleaner race than we're used to in the early stages. So I'm wondering if overall it's just going to kind of carry into these 10, 15, 20 lap stints to the end, rather than a long green flag run to the end like we've experienced and we're used to at this point in this league.
We're going to see a little bit of something different than we've seen before, especially at a track that's here to challenge the drivers over the long run as well. 200 miles of running is just absolutely punishing.
1000%. I mean, you could start to see the rubber build up on some of the front ends of these cars, especially the more light front ends. You could see the rubber starting to build up on the front end, which is very common, especially after endurance races when they run so long that their front just basically turns black. And it just shows the wear and tear these cars experience as they race and race and race. And not to mention some people already with scrapes on the front end from hitting the wall, hitting others, dooring. It's a long one, and it's a marathon.
Definitely a marathon, not a sprint. As we get ready to go green, we keep James Newton on standby, our pit and paddock reporter, with one more bit of information, but it's green, green, green here, and the flag color changes from yellow to green with Finnegan Myers there to accept it there on the run. Hector Collazo and Joshua Carey getting dicey there. The number 32 of Ortega wants to get there for the win of the race as well, but you gotta be there in order to get there at the end.
Well, that outside lane is certainly the lane to be in right now. Best Carey goes low into 3 and 4, but Ortega's still sticking around the top, sticking that fender in, but slide job from Joshua Carey. He's going to take the lead of this race in Michigan.
Joshua Carey, who started the race back in 3rd position, climbs through the ranks back up into P1. I would love to see a timeline of where he's been and who he's had to battle with to get back up into the top spot. Again, coming through the high wide section of 1 and 2. There's a spin in the background, and I think that's the 90 and the 99 coming together there.
What a save from Nicholas Road, about 50, 60, even 70 degrees sideways. Keeps that one straight, albeit with the help of other cars. But Kovnat, not so fortunate. He is one that did have to go around. And he's going to be trying to fight his way from the rear now.
Taking a look from the blimp cam now to see how this all went down. It will be the number 90 here trying to come down on the number 23, and the 23 slips up, and then they all come together, unfortunately. Oh, and the 91, an unsuspecting bystander and all over that.
Yeah. Kovnat, his luck hasn't been great recent. I mean, it's been up and down. He's one of those guys that shows up every week and wants to do well, and just lost it on his own there.
Oh. Here comes the replay of that 91 now. Just slams on the brakes.
Not able to find the stability he needed, and a little bit of a blink out from that slide there. But once again, he's going to be fighting from the rear. I think he had a little bit of front end damage, so he's coming down pit road to fix that, I believe. Has to.
Here's another look here from the pickle machine. Axel Smith, the number 26, the Pickle King himself, or self-proclaimed Pickle King. As he tries to take avoiding action, he's able to get down to the low side of the racetrack and avoid all the carnage and tarnation behind.
That's what you got to do sometimes. When there's a lot of space on that apron, you got to use it. And that's one of them situations there where it's very good to have a big apron where you can just go very low to avoid guys spinning in front of you.
We have James Newton, our pit and paddock reporter, ready to give us a little bit of an update. Go ahead, James.
Thank you, guys. And again, fantastic here and all the action on track. I've got Carmelo Echevarria up 10 spots on the previous restart. I believe he's gained even more still. Teammate Max Ford on the previous restart was out, but he's still in his ear, so that's a good teammate to have. They were running quite well early on, and we'll try to see if Carmelo can continue that charge up to the front. Aiden Coberrubia is currently out, and Blasco and Funderburg are really on the limit at the moment. So they are really kind of locked in, not too interested in having somebody like me in their ear. And Dead Man Walking really locked in. All 5 drivers working on strats and potentially no more fuel as this race is on the back half, of course. It looks like everybody is thinking about how do we get here to those last couple laps and duke it out to the end.
Well, James, if the drivers ever get too irritated with it, you can always come out and hang with us, my brother. Anytime, James Newton. Thank you so much. Our own personal Shay Adams, everybody. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Should I stop calling him Shay Adams, Jacob?
That's up to you. I mean, if James likes it, he likes it. If he doesn't, well, that's James's problem.
Oh, I'll give it right back to him. Do not worry about that.
Oh, he's still here. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm always here, brother. I'm always here for you guys.
Someone should have muted that.
He's always listening and watching.
That's right. I'm a
He's
Shay
like Santa
Adams.
Claus. Yeah, he's like Santa Claus.
Joshua Carey, Alexander Ortega, Finnegan Myers, Joseph Enright, Hector Colazzo line the first 2 rows. It'll be a nice and calm restart here, or will it be all fireworks going into the final 40, Jacob?
I'm going to say right now it's going to be fireworks. If we're good on fuel, they're running. We're not worried about a green flag pit stop. And the way these guys operate in the UIS, we might be a little considerate, but we're gonna bring it to you.
As we ride on board with Finnegan, the 00. Let's see if he catches the 35. Slipping at the wheel, a bump in the rear end as we're ready to go green, green, green. And that it might be a black flag for Finnegan Myers, but I'm not seeing it pop up yet. And that could have been a false start there, but you can see his own reaction as he's not sure if he got the penalty or not. It's looking clean, but there goes Ortega coming down across them right now, and there goes Colazzo charging in the Red Bull number 87 as well.
Caution will fly on the speedway in the rear. It's Braden Movick. Once again, got involved with Brink earlier in the race. Once again, I'm going to keep saying it, former winner here in Michigan in the Cup Series, and just has not found his luck today. It's all a product of that restart as we're on the replay here. Oh, just nudged the 87 and just the 07. Once again, kind of similar what happened to Max Ford. Just racing close together, and you see Martinez go for a spin there toward on the apron.
You know what's funny? I was going to say it's exactly like what happened to Max Ford. Is the second you started saying nice things about him, it all went wrong. So I'm just going to go ahead and blame you for that.
I'm done talking to people. I'm not doing that anymore.
Third time's the charm, Jacob, as Enright spins around the Maxwell glass machine and sends them down the order. Brandon Movick back to pit lane. Oh, and here's a peek at the restart as the 7 gets dicey.
That's what I was trying to say with the product of that restart. They all got stacked up so early on that bottom lane that they were all, scouring for position and scouring for space, and something gave in the corner there.
Something had to give. You're absolutely right. Good call on the restart. That's something that escaped my eye. Jacob Quill doing a great job here of keeping an eye on the things that I can't keep an eye on.
That's what I'm here for. A lot of pit stops right now.
And one of those pit stops being the leader of Finnegan Myers. And I wonder if that was a scheduled stop or if that's a push for foreign fuel to try to get an advantage on the rest of the field.
Well, if I recall correctly, was Finnegan on the same strategy as everybody else, or was he on a different strategy? Because maybe I don't wonder if he was a little bit short on fuel. I doubt it was fuel, but yeah, maybe he's trying to get a leg up on tires because we've run enough, we've seen enough guys, kind of fade and go in that maybe you want to get tires because you still have 40 laps here. It's actually about 35. So there's still a long way to go here. You can really work your way up toward the front with a fresh pair of tires.
Yeah, and I see a slow pit stop, though. That alarms me. 26.9 in the stop. just concerns me a little bit about that. I mean, obviously he cycles back because we're under yellow. It's no harm, no foul. But he did stop for the third time, so it leads me to believe that he is on.
Whoa, wrecking under caution! What the heck? We're wrecking under caution. It's the 88, Riley Maxwell.
Oh,
Sorry
man.
to cut you off. That was just so abrupt.
That's exactly what you need to do in that moment. I did not see the 88 as I was looking at the timing tower. Let's get a replay of what happened here. Talk us through it, Jacob.
Oh my goodness. On the replay, yeah, he's just trying to warm up his tires and starts the motion as he goes to the right. He gets hit by the 2. And yeah, you see him swerving all over the track. Just maybe trying to get some marbles off the tires, maybe build some heat into it, you know, before we get going. But you see him go back to the right here, start a motion as he's carrying, the 2's carrying momentum. You see him start a motion here to start weaving it. Oof. All right, he backs off, goes back into it, does it again, just piles into him.
Oh, man. And I wonder if the 88 is going to come down for repairs. It's too late to come down for repairs. We're single file, ready to take the restart now. Oh, man. 35, the 32, the 87, the 7, the 39, the 99, and we're going to have a delayed start. We're going to wave this one off.
Oh, I mean, still, this is... What is happening? These guys, they get crazy, but the last time, actually in the UIS for the Cup Series, I think the last time I've seen a single file restart had to have been, I don't even think we had one last season. It's been a hot minute since we've had a single file restart, and I wonder if that's just due to the amount of cautions we've had as of recent. It's up to race control's discretion to whether they want to make the restart single file or double file. And I think they've chosen single file for the very moment.
And here we have James Newton again, our pit road reporter, with another word from the drivers. Go ahead, James.
I do not have any. Thank you so much, Sagar. I do not have any words about the wrecking under caution, but I do have Jackson Brown having potential connection issues, blinking a little bit. Their team was talking about that as well. A little bit of damage for Jackson Brown as well. Not sure what extent. I'll have a look into that a little later on. Kenny Hilaire rolling with the punches currently, basically kind of running out of cars according to him, and he seems to be in good spirits. Kai Colleymore's over the moon, currently in 5th position when I spoke with him, and he is probably the happiest bunny right now in a group of other drivers who are complaining about the cautions or breeding cautions. And Carmelo Echevarria has 2 minutes of damage at the moment, which I believe has gotten taken care of since talking with him. And if I get any more information about that wrecking under yellow, I will get back to you guys shortly. Thank you.
James Newton, part of our pit and paddock reporting team. Thank you very much to him for doing all the legwork and talking to the drivers and getting into their ear about what's going on and feeding us back that crucial information to give us that feedback of what's going right, what's going wrong.
They delayed it once again. So race control's trying to figure something out. Don't exactly know what, but race control is postponing it for some reason. And I'd like to mention, we haven't talked about the weather in a minute, but look at the shade on the track now. The track is getting colder and colder. So a lot of cloud coverage now towards the end of this one. I think that'll bump up the speed a little bit even more, and that's just a recipe for disaster with the rhythm we're going in.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you could see the cloud cover coming over the track. It was definitely a lot warmer when we started this event. The temperature has come down. The track has cooled down. Now, what does that mean for not only the tire life of the vehicle, but I mean, for the drivers and their wear as well, as I'm sure they're getting tired at this point in time.
Well, I'd like to mention, we're going green this time, but sorry for ignoring the question, but Joseph Enright got disqualified for that incident.
Oh, wow. Green, green, green is the flag color now as Joshua Carey, Alexander Ortega, and Hector Collazo lead us in the 1-2-3 punch.
Look a lot calmer this time by.
A little calmer this time by, but it's still 3 abreast further back as the drivers like to get their elbows out here for the UIS championship. It's going to leave it all on the line tonight. No bars are going to be held. No thing is going to be held back as we continue our bout for the championship lead.
Yeah, with it only being 2 races in, everyone's still scrapping around for whatever they can get, and it just turns out that Michigan's one of those tracks where it's actually set people on the roadmap for success. We've seen a lot of momentum swings come from Michigan and a lot of downturns come from Michigan in this league.
It's definitely an ebb and flow for the drivers to have it go their way and then not, unfortunately. Here's a big look at Collymore, that number 39, who is happy to be in 5th place. Is going to be a little bit happier to be in 4th place. Wyatt D. Thompson steals the fast lap of the race, down in 11th position.
Yeah, Thompson sees a hot lapper. He's really good at getting that lap time down. We'll keep an eye on him throughout the race to see how this race progresses with him. He's moved up. He's done a good job starting close to the rear. But, Kovnat's making a move on him right now. And it just makes me wonder, Thompson's always been open about him hating this car and the aero. But given the circumstances, I don't think he can say he's had a bad day today.
No, definitely hasn't had a bad day today. The rise and fall of most drivers through a 200-mile race will come and go. The drivers here are definitely driving their hearts out and to the limit. Joshua Carey leads Ortega by 0.2 of a second right now, looking at the 2 of Wyatt D. Thompson, who's gained 22 positions on the good, has Eric D. Kovnat in the background to keep him company, and I'm sure he's trying to stave him off or shake him off as quickly as possible.
What you got to do, you got to make your moves quick. If this next-gen car, you don't get it done quick, then you're just going to sit there and burn your tires up continuously, and it doesn't no good for both cars no matter what.
Definitely didn't wait for an opportunity, acted on it this moment the opportunity presented itself. Did not need to be invited twice. Here's the battle for 4th right now. It'll be Kai Collymore leading Collazo right now, and there goes Collazo down towards the yellow stripe. The 39 closes the door promptly and swiftly in front of the Red Bull.
Yeah, Collazo's gone back just a slight amount from when we interviewed him, and was at a front row spot. Now going back into the top 5 to get a little bit of blink from him. But Collazo's still having a good day. But I would like to mention Tyler Helms. He's been sitting, just outside the top 5 for most of this race, and he's starting to put the pressure on these leaders.
Careful, Jacob. Careful, Jacob. You don't want to say too many nice things about someone before it comes and bite us in the buttocks there. Number 39 has been running acceptably tonight, and that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, Jacob, we don't want to give him the commentator's curse or nothing.
Yeah, no, he's been running terribly. It's a real shame.
It's a darn shame, that's for sure. If only he could gain some more positions, and I'm sure that's exactly what Ortega's saying right now.
Zarate was in the wall there for a moment, and 6, Wilkin now making a move on him.
Big gap now to Ortega, 4/10 nearly, as we take a look back at Zarate and Trenton Wilkin in front, the number 17 just a nose ahead right now. and in a steep battle.
Yeah, well, Zarate was just in the wall in 3 and 4 just a minute ago. Could be a sign of the wear on that car. But Wilkin, he's also, once again, a big competitor. Was great, a great competitor last night in the Contender Series race when he was up front. But now he's here in the Cup Series today. Now running in P6, trying to go fight toward the front.
Absolutely. That's the keen eye of Jacob Quill, keeping an eye on the grid and all the happenings on track for us as he does his duties to the best of his abilities. He's just so well equipped. And Jacob, you know, how do you get so well equipped to know so much about these cars, about the tracks, about the drivers? You know, tell me more about your process and what it comes down to getting to know these next gen machines.
Well, these next-gen cars, you know, I love to dabble in a little bit of setup building. So, you know, when you understand how a car works, it helps a lot more to, especially on these broadcasts, to be more fluid about what the car's doing, you know, and it improves the broadcast quality as well. You know, it helps out a lot. But like in terms of getting to know these guys, I've been in this league for over 2 years. I've known these guys since about 2022. I've known almost all of these guys, so we're great friends. So you just got to spend time. It's just time learning things. You got to pick places, pick time, and just learn it.
Absolutely. I try to get seat time in the next gen cars as frequently as possible. I definitely struggle on the bus, as the kids say these days. Here's the 48, the Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse badge Chevrolet. At 48, it really looks akin to another driver that we know and love. So that 48 getting a little kiss there from Brady Schreshergast.
Brady Schreckengoss, he's returning to the series this season. Ran a little bit of a couple part-time starts last season, notably Iowa, where I most remember that race simply because Brady couldn't catch a break that race. Did not run too well, but this season he's running full-time. He's come in here with a fresh outlook on everything, and he wants to do things. And he was running really well at Daytona. I think he was there on the last lap, just couldn't get that one done. As we look towards the front, I'd like to look towards the fronts with Carey and Ortega. I think these are the two to watch this race by far. Going to the sprint to the finish at this point. Got 20 laps to go. It's going to be a long haul. Got a long way to go still. But I'd also like to point out that Tyler Helms is putting on the horses, or he was having the horses, but it seems like he's putting on the brakes now. It seems like that car is starting to fade back a little bit, and it's played into Collazo's hands. He starts to come back toward all of it as we're all single-filed out throughout this pack. I think this is the first time this race we've been completely single-filed out. This is unbelievable.
It really is crazy that for the first time, we're 4/5 of the way through this race. As now Connor Blasco is not in single file here, making 2 spots up to 14th there, as Brady and Logan Brink, Schreckenghost, are battling out for 18th here. This is James Newton. I got very jealous of you guys up in the broadcast booth. I was sweating it out in the pits, and I thought I'd come on in and sit down next to Mr. Jacob Quill. Thank you guys so much for bringing us up.
Caution on the speedway.
19 to go.
Dorian Davis. It's Davis with Axel Smith. Get a replay on that one when we get the time. Just contact. Brings out caution. Brings out a caution with 20 to go, which when they cross the line, it was 19. And I just would like to point out our producer, DJ, he went to the kitchen and he hoped they would not wreck. Well, guess what, DJ? They wrecked. So immediately after, as soon as he leaves, it's Axel Smith and Kendorian Davis taking a little bit of a tumble there.
Yeah, I wonder if the stewards will have a word with DJ after this for going to the kitchen. Should have known better, but yeah, I believe this is almost to the double digits of cautions. This may be something like 7 or 8 as the Mustang GT iRacing pace car picks up the field, and they will get into a relatively decent single file here, or 2 wide, I should say. It kind of depends on how they'll stack up. We heard a lot of chatter on the radio for the teams trying to figure out which side to go, which lane to pick for it's the teamwork. Teamwork is an extremely important thing, as we see here, Jacob. The replay coming up shortly.
Getting the replay up here with Kendorian Davis and Axel Smith coming to you shortly. They both tangled a little bit, played a little bit of tango game. You know, Michigan, high speed, trying to side trap. Coming off turn 4, you just see Davis and Smith trying to run with each other. Smith tries to find more, turns him across the front bumper. So wouldn't be shocked to see the officials make the call on Kendorian Davis to go to the rear, which actually Kendorian Davis has been disqualified from the race. I believe he hit the tally limit.
That was the final straw there. We have a broken-backed camel now. That's a real shame. Obviously, that's the exact opposite of what he's wanting.
Oh my God! Sorry to interrupt, but look at the replay. Unbelievable.
What a close call as well.
A little further back. Smith coming back
up the track.
He's
just 90 degrees.
Braden Mubbock. I mean, Braden Mubbock has been involved in almost every single accident to this point. He's just not catching a break. He's a magnet today. He's an absolute magnet on the track.
Yeah, that 25 has had enough mishaps for the day and then some.
Holy cow. Besides all this carnage, just like to point out, this is where UIS gets dangerous. Coming to about 16 to go in this race. I think we're going to go green here very soon. And Tyler Helms is leading this race right now. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. And once again, I'd like to give a big shout out to Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse for sponsoring the UIS today for Michigan. It's always great when we can get sponsorship to help fund this league. You know, it's a great community of people who love and live and breathe speed. So we appreciate their donation so much. And in return, get a great broadcast here on Precision Entertainment. So I think that's a fair deal.
Yeah, I guess if we say so ourselves there. And as we have oh, that's not the pace car there. Everybody heading out of pit lane. Anybody involved in that? You said Tyler Helms out at the front. The number 7 is going to be getting us back green here with something like maybe 14, 15 to go or so. And right behind them, look at that, the 00 Finnegan Myers. No stranger to issues earlier on, including potentially getting involved with, I believe, 2 wrecks. Not had the easiest time out there. And now they find themselves with a real chance here. Now, Jacob, you've seen a lot of these races, of course. Do you think that they're going to go a little bit easy into the last couple laps? Or do you think they might ratchet it up and even more? Because I think it might be the latter.
No, it's going up. It's the intensity just goes and goes and goes in this league. I've seen it firsthand. I'll tell you right now, I've been on the shorthand of it. Season 4, I was about to sweep Michigan. I won the spring race. We come back here in the fall. That number 48, Nicholas Martinez Jr., he gives me the bumper to go take the win in that one. So they only ramp up at the end. It's how it plays out.
Well, it sounds like you've got the behind the wheel. So you've basically been here. So what are you thinking here? You have 16 laps to go. Pace car pulls off. What's the game plan?
The game plan, you're pushing. It doesn't matter. There's no saving. I mean, 15 to go in the next gen. You're drafting, you're pushing, and we're underway. Green flag, Helms is out in front. Martinez takes a look to the bottom immediately.
Headed to turn 1 here, which is going to be the line. It looks like there's no help on the bottom, but the 48 does not care. The Racing Warehouse machine trying to stay off a little bit. And of course, the slots back into a space I did not see coming here. Going to try to potentially work with the 7 as well.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth between these guys. Finnegan Myers trying to get that spot back on Martinez. Slides the bumper right in front of him. Sharp clear right there on Martinez. And Helms is now fighting out in front. Martinez shoving Myers toward the front. He wants to get them a victory today. And I'd like to mention Sky High Racing is 1, 2, 3 right now with Martinez, Helms, and Finnegan Myers.
Would you believe it? Everybody at the sharp end right when it counts. And it looks like the 7's not needing help at the moment. Now the question is, who does the 35 support to get the duo up to the front? We got high and low side from 2nd and 3rd. And 4th is down the middle as well as they move over to the high side. And they're just looking for air. We've seen how difficult it is to lead here. And it is looking like everybody's turning traitor. Nobody wants to really give the position, or apologies, nobody wants to really take the position. They just want to give a little bit of hip and shoulder and trying to get up to the back of the leader is the 48 there. So Martinez is kind of showing him a little bit of his car. Helms still looking relatively comfortable considering that there's 13 to go here at Michigan.
And also considering Helms took 2 tires. The rest of these guys are on 4. So Helms is holding them off with a 2-tire strategy on the right side. And Martinez and Finnegan Myers, they're duking it out with him with a fresher car.
Yeah, definitely. And also we're seeing as Martinez down the inside there. They're now side by side. Looks like there's still plenty of overlap. And I think the 7's going to be able to out-drag down the back stretch. The 48 gave it some down the inside, but that was not enough to clear. And now we're going to see that low line again as they straddle the seams. Sun dropping here.
Still side-by-side racing. That side draft so effective on Tyler Helms. Helms with the advantageous line, but Martinez has a lookout in front, trying to slide him up in the corner, possibly looking to clear him on exit, and he does on Helms at the moment. Helms trying to fight back still, carrying the wall a little further back, and we're still having it on at the front. Helms looking low. He goes back up top. We're still racing to turn 3.
With Carey having that issue there is now the high side there for Helms. And right on the apron was Myers, really able to hold that inside line. You spoke about the 4 tires as they all dive underneath the apron across the stripe. And Helms trying to kind of hold that middle lane, not really able to hold it down as low potentially. And another driver striking that turn 1 wall there. Doesn't seem like it's going to be affecting anybody off of the turn as they head down the back straight once again. The number 7, no help from the front. 48 trying to get away. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to hang in there. So it looks like potentially we've got a 6-car snake. It looks like everybody's just about even. There's a bit of a break, maybe 3 or 4 car lengths back to 7th and 8th. That is Zarate and Wilkin in the 17. Haven't spoken too much about them today. But again, this is all just going to space out. So basically, this is like boxers. The bell dings, they take out their mouth guard, they roll their shoulders, and then they get right back in the ring, and they trade blows once again.
I'd like to point out Alexander Ortega is absolutely flying on these guys right now. He is just putting on the pressure to this top 3. And Ortega, a strong competitor in stage 1. Remember, he won stage 1. And as the track, the sun's starting to come out a little bit now. As we get going in these later stages, you never know who it can be from the high speed of Michigan as we're going 208 into turn 1.
Love the race director. Oh my goodness. The back left, the 00 is going to hang on to it. A little bit of teamwork there. Well, I say teamwork, just a little bit of respect, trying to keep it. Number 3 wide down the back stretch here, getting swamped. It's at the 00. That's Myers, 35. That's Carey and Colazo, the 35 and 87, up into 4th and 5th. And now they're going to go down to the low side. They're going to go Ortega hunting if they can. And the 32 now has a couple of cars that have got tons of confidence. Doesn't look like the top 2 are breaking away nearly as much as we are. 8 to go, and they all swamp back up to the high side. There's so much movement on these next-gen cars. They really can really put them where you want them as long as you've got the confidence, you've got the control. And if you don't have the control, well, there's a wall there for you as an alternative strategy.
Yeah, that wall is dangerous here, Lay. You don't want to bend out a toe link in these next-gen cars, as it's single filing out a little bit at the moment. But Myers, whoa, hard into the wall for Kerry. Talking about them toe links, that is the type of hit that does knock out those toe links. Wouldn't be shocked if something happened to Kerry right there. But Myers, after getting nudged by Ortega to get past, he hasn't had quite the speed he wanted. So Ortega, now he's trying to use some unique strategy here to try and find his way to the front. Is look at this snake by Martinez. I've been watching that for the last 3 laps, and Martinez snakes down there like it's IndyCar.
Jacob, this is just getting so exciting here. This is really just turning into a nail biter. We got 6 to go here. It looks like Kerry was able to recover to 6th position, so it looks like he may be going back up a little bit. But again, this snake, it really just, it's so dramatic. The amount of space you have here at Chicago, it really is just anybody's race at the moment. And again, you've got that, top 5, top 6 or so, as Kerry loses another position down. 7th, Trent and Wilkin back up. Apologies, Kerry and Wilkin side by side. And we are relatively tame again. A couple of jabs exchanged. And Helms is still there. I was expecting, especially with the two, and as I say that, Helms up into the wall as we head on to the start-finish straight.
Ortega wants to take advantage of that right now as he dives down low, maybe trying to put something on the side of the 7 of Helms. So Ortega dives down low. He's actually going to clear Helms off of turn 2, and now he's going to put his sights on Martinez, as still the fighting is still occurring, but I think Ortega's got this one down in pat. So the sky-high 1-2 has been broken up, and now it's Ortega to try and take the fight to the 48.
His positioning was fantastic on that back straight. He was not up against the wall. He was a little to the inside, dissuading Helms from trying to cut across down the inside. It wouldn't be worth it because the amount of track you have to move from right to left was too much for Helms to think about. So a little bit of a half move that could really cement Ortega up here in the top couple. And wow, again, just such a dramatic chop from Martinez, probably dropping a couple miles an hour, just trying to keep the toe off of the 32, who is having none of it. And just keeping that middle line.
You don't necessarily need to follow as long as you can take the fastest way around, as we're coming to 2 to go in this one in Michigan. We always come down to thrillers in this race. Myers hung back, and now he's reassuring that we're going to see a good finish. Whoa, there we go, contact. Martinez gets loose. Ortega now trying to take this one. Myers into the picture. Hard hit behind him. It's Collazo. No caution yet. We keep this one straight, and Myers down to the bottom. 4 wide. Holy cow.
4 wide. Now we have a pair. We have 2 pairs here now. Looks like that is Helms that's backed off a little bit, just trying to keep it together here as we're going to be going with 1 more to go. Little bit of a hip check there. I don't think there was any contact. And Myers trying to look for this one. Ortega around the outside. And it looks like Martinez is in position as well to clean it up if anything else happens. And they now are banging doors as down the inside the 48 as they head down the back straight for the final time.
Finnegan Myers has ran a great race, and now he's looking in front in 3 and 4. Martinez underneath. We've seen this story all too well before. Doors him up the track. Watch Ortega come into this one. Ortega wants to come and take one, but it's going to be Martinez at the line. Nicholas Martinez wins in Michigan, and Myers wrecked him after the line. That's going to be a penalty. We've seen this happen before. Roll it back to season 4. Jacob Quill versus Martinez. He toured him out of the way, bumped him out of the way, and unbelievable. I'm just lost for words with that one.
I'm almost speechless as well. I'll try to say a few words. Obviously, we've got Nicholas Martinez Jr., the 48 with the win, just ahead of Finnegan Myers, who had their own issues in the 0-0. Alexander Ortega in 3rd position. Helms dropping back to 4th place, but running an extremely strong race in the number 7. As we pick up Martinez Jr. there in the 48 Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse, which is, of course, the fantastic sponsor putting on this race. And just incredible stuff there Jacob, how's the voice over there?
I'm out. That last 3 laps took it all up. I mean, I was cracking. I don't care. That was amazing. Unbelievable. We're burning it down from Michigan. Nicholas Martinez claims his 10th career, or not 10th career, claims his 8th career UIS victory. This one get done in Michigan. Now he's a multi-time Michigan winner.
He'll, of course, join that multi-win group there. Heads up here, try to make sure that checkered flag gets a little bit of rubber there as well. For, of course, the burnt rubber warehouse. And now we can't see him anymore. There he is, emerging from the smoke, heading over to the winner's circle, which he promptly destroys.
He can do whatever he wants. He won the race.
Meet the new boss.
In a moment, we'll be back for results. Commercial break coming right up to you. Back in the Michigan International Speedway, the UIS Cup Series just concluded racing action. Back here in the post-race show now, it's James and I, Jacob Quill. So Nicholas Martinez Jr. took the win in this one over Finnegan Myers in an absolute thriller in 3 and 4. Ortega just behind them, came into third, won stage 1, great points day for him. Tyler Helms comes in 4th, Joshua carrying 5th. Trevino was a strong competitor early, not quite able to get it later. He follows in 6th. It's Christian Zarate in 7th, Blasco in 8th, Wilkin in 9th, and Kai Collingwood round out your top 10. In 11th, we got Travis Prather taking this one as well. So Travis Prather has always been a great driver in this series. Not a bad result for him himself. Axel Smith, last night's winner, wasn't quite able to come to the cup level and translate immediately, but still a great showing for him, was running up front. So we keep that in mind. Jackson Brown finishes 13th. It's Asher Bunkley in 14th after getting involved in multiple accidents for those two. Aaron Kovnat once again on the unlucky end. He rounds out in 15th. And Henry Kalhoff 16th. Jacob Bryant 17th. Logan Brink was running up front, doing a great job, just unlucky today. Hector Colazo running up front on the last lap. Gets wrecked. He finishes P19 with Nicholas Road rounding out your top 20. Go back to 21st, and it's Wyatt Thompson. Not a strong day for him necessarily, but he's more races to come in this series. Brady Schreckengoss comes in 22nd. Maxwell Funderburg 23rd. Carmelo Echeverria 24th. Kenny Allaire, he finishes 25th. Former winner Braden Movick, he finishes 26th in this one. Riley Maxwell 27th. James Cesar 28th. Max Ford, after wrecking early on, he finishes 29th, and Damian Cisneros finishes 30th. Aiden Cobarubia and that Ohio Racing stable, unlucky once again. Not a great look for this team so far early. He finishes 31st. Joshua Gilbert, 32nd. Aiden Curett, 33rd. Cody Banta in 34th. Kendorian Davis, 35th. Enright, 36th. And Jared Green in 37th to round out the field.
Yeah, definitely, Jacob. We saw some fantastic movers as well. Prather and Brown, 11th and 13th, both missing out on the top 10 just a little bit, but making up 23 and 22 spots respectively. So there was a whole lot of moving and shaking. Kai Collymore trying to climb that Everest, got himself to the top 10 and ran in the top 4 earlier on. But Nicholas Martinez Jr. could not be denied today. And just what a thriller here in Chicago.
Oh yeah. but yeah, Martinez is always one of those guys that's good at these 2 mile long high speed tracks, and it's no shock today, but that's a thriller. We're gonna move it over to interviews now as they're waiting and standing by drivers. Third place, we're gonna bring up Alexander Ortega. Alexander Ortega, welcome to the Precision Entertainment booth. How'd your race go?
Relatively solid. I mean, we got the stage win, so good little points there in the pocket for the whole race. Wish we could have actually had a chance to race for it there on the last lap, but all the teammates couldn't. 3v1, 3v teammates versus myself and Joshua trying to do whatever we could, and they still almost lost. So I think we'll take it. Got ran up out of a groove there into one, and just not much you can do here. It's so difficult to pass.
1000%. Well, you didn't come home with a terrible day. I'll say that much, but coming out of this one, how do you feel the momentum swings for your season? You've ran good this entire season. You picked up the Daytona 500 victory, did you not? And now you're third. So you should hypothetically be the points leader.
Oh yeah, no, we're having a great season, and I felt really good on pace all race. We just got caught on the bad end of the strategy there with all the cautions. Joshua and I were kind of in a position where we needed a yellow during that long run, and we got it. And I was tempted we were both tempted to take 2, but I'd rather be on offense than defense, especially if, we had like teammates behind us. I mean, he and I are good friends, but, in the league, we're not teammates. So I had nobody, he had nobody. It's like, we got to just do what we can. So we both took 4 tires and we gave up some track position to do it. And it's just so hard to pass, but the momentum's going forward. I can't complain with that. Michigan isn't my favorite track. With how tight it is, I always prefer a little bit of, looseness, throttle control, and we didn't really have that today unless you were the leader. And so you definitely can't complain with a third place finish in the stage one, coming off the win last week.
Well, you've had a great run up to this point. And honestly, you were looking to be a favorite to win this one today. You ran the best race you could, and you got anyone you want to shout out on the internet here today?
Yeah, a big shout out to Joshua. He and I did a really good job just trying to work with each other and help each other get through the field. I think if that race goes green and we were actually able to make it to the end, it would have been a really fun race between the two of us. We've raced each other a bunch over the years, and it's a big shout out to him and the race we're able to have. Just sucks when we're able to get a few spots higher, but it's bad when it takes 3 cars to beat you.
Well, honestly, to me that would boost my ego, but. So I don't know about you, but yeah, you ran a great race. We'll see you later, and thank you for putting on a great show for us today.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So that's Alexander Ortega finishing P3 tonight. I would say nothing bad about that day whatsoever. Stage 1 victory. Great job for him. Next, we move up to Finnegan Myers, who took home second place today amidst some controversy. Keep that in mind. Finnegan Myers, welcome to the Precision Entertainment booth. You got a copy?
Howdy, yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, I want to ask, what more did you need to do on that last lap to make sure that that opportunity didn't quite happen?
We need a little more of a break from our teammates. That's about it.
Yeah.
But we raced hard. Everyone was racing hard at the end. It was a long race, so I won't complain too much.
Well,
Finnegan, there was a whole lot of stuff that was kind of stacked against you a little earlier on, including a bit of an incident. And we were down in the pit lane there, kind of hearing a whole bunch of chatter. Were there a lot of nerves going into the end of this one, or were you thinking this one's mine?
I mean, I was really sad to see the caution at the end because I knew how fast we were on the long run.
Mm-hmm.
And the short run, we were really good on the long runs. I thought we had the best car. I just couldn't fire off quite as well. So when we had the 15-lap run, I was just waiting, and I was in third, and I thought I was in a really good spot. And then contact from the 32 went back to 7th or 8th, and then still drove back up to third. And we had the tires, and then just circumstances on the last lap takes you out of it.
All right.
Yeah, it can be a difficult day, and again, as you said, a long one. And we wish you the best of luck in the next round. Is there anybody that you want to shout out here on the internet?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to Edmonds Motorsports. Almost got it done for them in this car finally, but keep putting together good runs for them. So thank you to them. Thanks you to Ryko as always for all the work. Battleborn and Raised, Red Bull, all those guys. And sorry to my teammate who I killed after the line trying to door bank. So that was bad.
Well, I'm sure you guys will be able to chat it out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well.
All right. We move Finnegan Myers back as now, here we go. We get your race winner. It's only fitting. The Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse 200 goes to a Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse car. Nicholas Martinez Jr., we're standing by with you on pit road. How does it feel to be, or actually in victory lane, we'll say. How does it feel to get the victory here in the Burnt Rubber Racing Warehouse 200?
I feel it's great, man. I mean, yeah, winning your own race that you sponsored. Yeah, that always feels great. I was off that restart there, that final restart. Me and my teammates came up with a plan to go ahead and try to launch off at the same time, so that way we could pull away a little bit. And I've already had a discussion about this with my teammates. I'm going to try to be selfish this season. And first thing I did was I pulled out of line and I tried to go for that race win and went for the race lead. Got up to the front and I was doing what you have to do. You know, name of the game, shaking, try to shake off the draft, just aero blocking. And I was doing a successful job at it. And I guess Alex Fortiga didn't like that and went ahead, try to bring up the pitchforks on me. But yeah, I saved it. I saved it, and yeah, then it was me versus Finn, and I did. I moved him up the track, and then got the race win.
Shades of season 4. That's all I gotta say. That was unbelievable. You know, how does that compare? That finish compared to me versus you, and then now Finnegan versus that. How does that?
I mean, I think even though I wish I would have just went home and dominated with a clean car. I mean, not dominated, but I would have went home and just said so long for those last 15 laps. For something like that to happen, nearly something nearly identical to what happened to season 4, and for me to come out on top again, that's just kind of special to me, and I think it's a little bit ironic in a way.
Well, I believe now you're the only multi-time Michigan winner and the Universal iRacing Series and the Cup Series. So, it means a lot to you. But how do you feel about your season outlook going forward with the momentum from this race?
I'm looking good. I rolled off in this race, and I didn't think I had a shot to win it at all. I was just battling the car the whole race. And then there at the end, we just the strategy fell into our lap. We took 2 tires, barely took any fuel because we're basically good to the end, and it was just a sky high 1, 2, 3. And then the strategy just fell into my lap. I feel like I'm really, really good on short runs, and just to see that I can still put it together, even when faced with something like that, just shows me the ability I have as a driver.
All right, well,
Nicholas, James Newton here. I called you traitorous earlier on in the stream because I saw you pull out and I was thinking, oh, his teammate, but this sounds like this was all premeditated and you confirmed that. So thank you for answering my question before I asked it. I also want to say that both in the booth here, I can't quite speak for Jacob, but for me, I moved back from my mic about 2 feet when Ortega sent one down the inside and you were able to withstand that pressure. I think that, in my opinion, and we'll of course debrief later on, that that might have been the move of the race for the win there, just trying to withstand that kind of attack and be able to hold your composure. So it was really great to watch.
Yeah, thanks. No, for sure that might be the move of the race, because I thought I didn't have it saved, and I got loose coming off the corner again. Actually, it was 2 times I got loose. And when I got loose the second time, I just decided that I was close enough to the wall that I would just go into it, and that straightened out my car perfectly fine. But yeah, I mean, that definitely could be the move of the race.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right, you got anyone you want to thank for your result today, Martinez?
Yeah, I want to thank my teammates in Trenton and Tyler, Brent Rubber Racing Warehouse, of course, Chase. And I want to thank you guys and Precision for putting on this show. I want to thank my Setup Shop Precision Setup Solutions as well.
All right, well, we're going to let you go here. Enjoy this victory. See you later. All right. Well, after that one, next week we go to Circuit of the Americas in the Universal iRacing Series Precision Speed Solutions Cup Series at May 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on watchprecision.live. Or watch, yeah. That's close enough. Oh, this was a great race. Final thoughts on this one for you, James?
I think that the driver that won is deserving. I think that every one of his competitors gave him heck all the way through. There were some fantastic movers and shakers. There were some very, as I'm sorry about you at the moment, there were a whole bunch of comeback drives, and I think that everybody really fought back from what seemed like really difficult circumstances. So and again, starting at the pit lane for the majority of this race, I got to talk to a lot of guys who were dejected. And as the laps went down, they found some extra something inside and they really brought it out.
Yeah. So this race is going to bring in a lot of momentum for a lot of guys like Martinez and I think Ortega. You know, they'll take results like these where Martinez is a little more inconsistent as to when he shows up. So final thoughts of this one, I think Martinez is setting himself up for a championship run this season. It's early, but Martinez has always been one of the few to watch in this series, and it's so great to see him doing well today. He's in the precision. So, with that, our concluding thoughts, we wish you all a great night. We had a great night here in the Universal iRacing Series here at Michigan International. This was one of those races where you just knew it was going to be tense. It was going to be tight. 208 into turn 1. That's unbelievable. Once again, thank you guys for watching tonight's broadcast. Catch us next week and for more future races at watchprecision.live for more. This is Jacob Quill and James Newton in the booth with Sagar taking us from the start. Had to leave mid-race. We appreciate you guys watching once again. We will see you all next time.
Goodbye for now.